10:01, so we will call this meeting to order. We have a quorum. Commissioner Weatherall and myself makes a quorum. So did we have any additions or revisions to the agenda?
I did not.
I did not either. Correspondence and public comment. Individuals wishing to address the county court may do so at this time and at other times throughout the meeting. Speakers are asked to raise your hand to be recognized by the chair. Give your name and address and limit comments to 3 minutes. And we did have one piece of correspondence from the Condon School District thanking us for donating the fill for the new grade school site and for the work the road department did, and recognizing that that was the biggest expense for the county was the road department's time. From Michelle Gear, Superintendent. Do we have any other public comment at this time?
Yeah, Commissioner.
Yes.
I know we had some correspondence through email regarding one of the consent agenda items, and that should probably be read into public comment.
You want us to read that into public comment?
I think we should put in there so
well,
everybody knows what he's thinking and feeling.
Okay. Well, we were, my thinking was that it arrived so late, I didn't get a chance to see it until this morning. So I was going to refer to it, but I was not going to read it into the minutes or into the minutes at this time.
Well, it wouldn't be a problem except that it is in the consent agenda.
Yes, but we can pull it from the consent agenda for further discussion.
Okay.
Would that work? Okay. Anyone else? Consent agenda. And the 4.5, the Gilliam County Planning Commission appointment is been some concern for several different constituents. And we did receive some late emails in regard to this. And so I would propose that we pull that from the consent agenda and maybe move it to the January 6th meeting so that we have some time to do some more research and become more educated on how that process works.
Commissioner Wilkins, I was thinking the same thing. I received a couple different emails, just wondering what the process was and how you make sure that the whole county is covered when you're appointing members to the Planning Commission. So I think that would be a good one to pause on and make sure we are looking at it carefully, and you guys can take care of that at the beginning of next year.
Okay, so anything else with the consent agenda?
I didn't have any other questions on the consent agenda.
Okay.
Well, I would go ahead and move that we approve the consent agenda after the removal of item 4.5.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda with the removal of item 4.5. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, old business. Discuss the proposed red zone designation. We have done our due diligence in the process for a red zone by notifying the taxing districts that we were going to have a public comment meeting, and that took place on December 17th. When we heard from Brian Walsh at Avangrid Renewables. We heard from landowners Guy Weedman and Tim Holtz. It was pretty much a continued discussion of the November 18th meeting. There wasn't too much new discussed. The taxing districts that were directly affected represented was the Port of Arlington and the county itself. There weren't any representatives from the other taxing districts. I have had some discussions since then with our county council, Tommy Brooks and Laura Westmeyer, on some questions that I continued to have. And with that being said, if a resolution, I'm going to continue to discuss the resolution and how, what it should look like with our county council, and continue to move forward. Does anyone have any questions? Or Commissioner Rotherall, did you have any comments?
I did not. I had hoped that at the public meeting that we would have had some more comment from the taxing districts, but the only comment I've received really is in favor of it. So yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay, we will continue to go through the process with the help of county council. Okay, moving forward, new business. 6.1, consider approval of Ardent Mills extra cost for doors. And let me get my papers in order here. There we go. So in May, in the May 19th meeting, we approved Rutherford Construction's bid for door replacement at Ardent Mills in the amount of $7,200. And so there was a change in the type of door requested by Ardent Mills. And that resulted in an increase in the cost of the door itself of $525. And the upgrade was approved by myself and the engineer, Jeff Schott. And the total invoice paid was $7,725. And the payment of the invoice was approved by Judge Farrar. But we just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention that there was a change in the cost for that door. Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Schott, do you have any comments?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes. No, we just went to a little bit of a fancier door, and so I think the project, is done, so that's it.
Yeah, they wanted glass so they could see people or people could see in, wasn't that?
Yeah, we went to a door that has two pieces of glass in it instead of one. That's the simple explanation.
Yeah, they just wanted that visibility so people weren't knocking each other down with the door.
Are they happy with their improvements?
As far as I know, they are.
Yeah.
I stopped by one time. Go ahead.
I haven't heard anything from Nan, so I'm hoping so. Okay, 6.2, discussion and possible action, Gilliam County Historical Society fiscal year 2020-2021 capital investment grant. And during the November 18th court meeting, the Historical Society was awarded a capital investment grant in the amount of $60,695 for the museum expansion project. And shortly after, Judge Farrar was contacted by Henry Wilkins, informing her the new building costs came in much higher than expected, unfortunately. So we have a couple of options to look at, and we have Mr. Schott and Mr. Wilkins here to let us know what's happening.
Well, basically, if you read the email from Eileen,
Mm-hmm.
the amount that was in the grant was $79,250 for construction of the building. And when we got our bid, the bid was $105,200. And so that's roughly the cost of the concrete that is in the grant. And what we're asking is let us build the building, and then next year or down the road, we'll apply or find money for the concrete installation at a later date. So what we're asking is to release the concrete funds and apply them towards the building construction.
Okay.
That seems like a good solution to me.
Yeah, I think so too. We need to keep moving forward. So if you could make those adjustments. I know that you said that Rutherford Construction said adding the concrete floor after the fact wouldn't be any type of a problem, so.
No, the present building that we have, that's the way it was built. And then a year or two later, the concrete was added, so.
Okay.
And also I want to thank the court for awarding us that grant so we could pursue the construction of this building. Thank you.
Yeah, expansion for our hysterical society. Historical society is always good. I call it that to my husband. I guess I better stop doing that, huh?
Well, you got to come up and see us and see what we have up there.
I look forward to that.
Okay.
I need to time my trips to Condon to coincide with your hours. It doesn't always happen that way, so we'll make that happen.
Okay. Well, you're all invited in the spring.
Sounds good.
With the COVID situation rectified, hopefully.
Yeah, well, we still might be wearing a mask, but we'll come see anyway. Did you have any other questions or comments, Commissioner?
I don't. It seems like they came up with a good solution, and I'm all for it. I guess I would go ahead and try to make a motion. I move to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 Capital Investment Grant Award to the Gilliam County Historical Society and allow the grant funds to be expended for the building, and then you guys can worry about how to do the concrete later, and authorize the county court to prepare and execute an amended grant agreement reflecting those conditions. Is there anything else I need to say in that motion?
I don't think so. I think that covered it. I'll try to read that back just to the way you
so eloquently worded it.
Right. I'll second the motion. It has been moved and seconded to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 Capital Investment Grant Award to the Gilliam County Historical Society, allowing the grant funds to be expended for the building and not the concrete, and to authorize the county court to prepare and execute an amended grant agreement reflecting the same. Any more discussion?
Is that covered, Henry?
That sounds good. You bet.
All right, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will get your new grant agreement out to you, Henry.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here today. Do we have any other announcements?
I don't have any.
We don't have any. Well, thank you, Commissioner Weatherall, for your 4 years of service.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Commissioner Wilkins, may I ask a question? This is Les Ruart.
Certainly, Les, go ahead.
Thank you. If I'm not interrupting the appreciation for Commissioner Weatherall, which I'd certainly like to join in, I'd like to take the court back to item 5.1, if I may.
Okay.
Okay. I guess the bottom line of that, as I understand it, is what I'm asking you to let me know if it's an accurate understanding. Are we essentially in a state of limbo? That is, that the court hasn't agreed to the actual initiation of submitting a resolution in the matter to Business Oregon, and it also hasn't said no to doing that. Is that essentially where we're at?
I believe that's correct. What we're looking at now is to get a resolution in place that we would be willing to adopt. And so we want to make sure all the wording is correct and that all our T's are dotted and our I's are crossed. So we're...
okay, may I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Well, actually, I'll need to ask two. I'd like to learn the name of the first individual you said, or you identified as being the legal counsel you're talking with. I'm aware of Laura, but I didn't get that first name. And then I'd also like to ask, what is the actual wording that's being looked at this point? I don't think I recall seeing any kind of a draft resolution out there. Even to this state, it's just been the resolution that's been referred to, which has been the generic one that you can access courtesy of Business Oregon's site. But I guess bottom line, the bottom line of my questions here are, who's the second attorney that's now involved, and is there a draft of the wording that the two are working on that interested people can look at?
Yes, Les, Tommy Brooks is our legal counsel from Cable Houston, and he actually, in the packet, there was a resolution that Tommy had put into place that got down to the now therefore be it resolved, and then number 2 needed some taxing monies, and then some other things needed to be added, and that was our draft. And those are the things we need to continue to fill in and make it whole.
Okay, I follow you. One last question. What's your
Okay.
timeline, or what's the court's anticipated thinking here in terms of an actual timeline for putting something out there that will end up going to Business Oregon? Are we looking at the next regular meeting of the court, or a meeting after that?
I'm looking at the next regular meeting of the court on January 6th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone have anything else? We will be having a regular meeting on January 6th. And that will be our next meeting, and it will be again by Zoom till all of us can get the vaccine.
We're doing that at 10 a.m.
I believe regular 10 a.m. meeting, yes. Does that work for you?
You betcha.
Okay, good. All right, if there's
Well,
no other business. Yes.
I guess I should say something real quick. Good luck, Pat. I wish you the best, and I will miss everyone, and it's been a pleasure working with everyone, and I'll, maybe you'll see me again someday, but it's been an honor to work with Gilliam County and its wonderful staff and commissioners and judge. And congrats to our judge who's on maternity leave with the latest addition to their family. And that's it. I'm starting to ramble now, but anyway, congrats and good luck to everyone.
Just be sure and take our calls.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Leslie, I've appreciated the conversations we've had in the last month or so too. Been really
Thanks,
helpful.
Pat. Good. Yeah, call me anytime.
Okay, well,
Thanks, Commissioner Weatherall. This is Brian Walsh. Thank you for your service too. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Brian.
Uh-huh.
okay, if there's no other business, I'll adjourn, and we'll see everyone on January 6th.